As the unmistakable opening synth chords of The View's broadcast theme blasted through Studio 57's control room speakers, signaling the live taping was just minutes away from kicking off, chaos had already gripped the back side of the set. Oh hell no. Nuh-uh, ain't no way in God's green flat earth. The raspy roar of protest erupted from Whoopi Goldberg herself as she stormed out of her dressing room and glimpsed the highly unanticipated curves of a very special surprise guest looking polished and picturesque in her own blazing white ensemble. There stood Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, flashing her signature dimpled smile while reveling in her own strategically orchestrated ambush on the long-running ABC daytime franchise. "We are not doing this today, you shameless royal thirst bucket." Whoopi spat, a cocktail of confusion and fury instantly contorting her face into a trademark scowl that had disarmed many a controversial or unprepared hot topics debate guest over the years. But even as her legendary command over the anchor's desk and flow of discourse quickly turned gruff and uncompromising upon Meghan's unexpected insertion, the presumptuous princess remained steadfastly unrattled. "Oh please Whoopi, let's dispense with the theatrics so very early in the afternoon, shall we?" she fired back while sashaying closer to the stage entrance. "The showrunners and I have had this segment choreographed and approved for weeks, right down to the branding placements and podium logo visibility." A tense face-to-face standoff ensued just as more of The View's hosting panel began filtering into the wings to join Whoopi. First a confused-looking Sunny Hostin followed by Joy Behar before Meghan's arch-TV nemesis Meghan McCain quickly smelled the growing cloud of skepticism over the breach of protocol. The collective gathering of co-stars and crew members looked on in bewilderment as the dueling Meghans unleashed rounds of clashing nobility versus withering Bronx borough energy at one another. Hold up, y'all are trying to tell me this uppity divorcee whose PR crapper mouth has spent the last few years dragging my family name somehow got an ersatz invitation to sashay her flat burnt perm ass onto MY's show like we're peers? Whoopi grilled the headstrong producers eyeing her outburst. And even worse, you let Ms. throwing shades of Sussex here in without even having the common courtesy to warn the on-air talent she'd be ambushing us with another self-serving dog and pony circus like some unauthorized charity barnacle? Markle, clearly sensing the building revolt against her planned cameo transparency with the hosting Four Horsemen, pointedly turned her back to Whoopi and her cast of cranky skeptical accomplices as she strode into the main staging area in a dismissive power move. She then flagrantly began prepping her pimp-up positioning at one of the guest podiums while stage managers scrambled to make last-second edits to the teleprompters for her surprise Hot Topics inclusion. "I'm sorry, but if I'm required to demand verification of the circumstances behind my appearance, I believe that's typically issued publicly for the audience rather than some unsightly backstage spat." Meghan called out in a haughty broiling indignation at having her impromptu takeover challenged and delayed. "Honestly Whoopi, the accuracy and truth behind any agreed invitation or my belongings seated here really shouldn't require any further disputations, If the bratty brush-off was meant to defuse tensions and move footage into production, it very much poured a barrel's worth of gasoline over the pilot light of Whoopi's growing conflagration instead. With just over 2 minutes remaining until live broadcast opened up, the longtime hosting nucleus unleashed a full-on mutiny directed toward the viewing audience at home to break the fourth wall over Markle's outrageous home invasion stunt. "Well, I'll be damned if some dumb, opportunistically parched British parasite tells me where I do or don't belong in my own dang house on live TV." Whoopi roared before pivoting towards the active on-set cameras. "You see this shady soul-cycled looking bitch right here, y'all?" She thought playing Kunta Kintasha mind games would be enough to hoodwink her way into cutting line and crashing another public stage unannounced.